Welcome to the Cardano Community Podcast. Today, we are starting a series of four episodes whereby we'll be discussing the activities and events that the Cardano Foundation has been engaged in throughout the year of 2019. Before we get to that, I think it's good to lay the foundation. So it's good if we just spend a little short moment looking at what's the core tasks of the Cardano Foundation. Now, first of all, is to drive adoption of the Cardano protocol. Secondly, to shape legislation and commercialize standards, ensuring stakeholder accountability, and facilitating partnerships. Those are the four core tasks that the Cardano Foundation has, not forgetting growing of the Cardano community. To kick it off, beginning of the year, we've seen the Cardano Foundation really make large steps, starting with the announcement of the Cardano Ambassador Program. Now, at the end of 2018, it was announced, and at the beginning of 2019, the first group of ambassadors were presented actually to the community. Now, what are those? Those are simply a group of individuals, community members that contribute good work to the community. And this can be hosting of meetups, it can be translating of content, can be creating videos, articles, blogs about the protocol, and but specifically, let's say, meaning very well and meaningful content. Now, the foundation has also created a website. On the website, you'll find a lot of information on there. Like specifically for the ambassadors. It's categorized in different categories. So you have, like, as an example, the meetup organizers, you have the, let's see here, you have the moderators, we have the content creators, we have the translators. But if you just pause a moment here, if anyone wants to become an ambassador, be sure to have a look at the website, because all of the rules is well displayed here, well communicated. Here you can read exactly what you need to do to be qualified to become an ambassador in what area that you wish. Now, just going through the website, you can see here the meetup organizers. Who are they? What is expected of them? We've seen the moderators. Now, if you've known, the Cardano Foundation is engaged in many different, let's say, platforms. From Reddit to the Cardano forum to Telegram, Instagram, etc. There are many different platforms where the Cardano Foundation is engaged in and make use of to engage with its community and the overall audience. Now, we have, of course, the content creators, people who write blogs, videos, articles, etc. We're just pushing content out to the community to keep people well informed and, of course, motivated. From there, we know that we have translators. Pause just a moment. There is no evangelism without translators. These are very important. Remember, not all of us speak English. Not all of us speak Dutch. By the way, there is no Dutch translators yet. So here's an open invitation, guys. Please do. So again, if you're thinking of becoming an ambassador, take a look at this website, read through the rules. If you think that you're qualified, if you're enthusiastic about the project, use the form below to nominate yourself, or better yet, if you know of someone who's really good, who's producing real content, try to see if you can get in contact with them, nominate that person, and let's make this happen. By the way, the Cardano Community Podcast is also looking actively for members within the community who has not yet been ambassadors to see if we can nominate them. That's some of the things that we're doing as well in the background. Anyhow, secondly, we've seen also the Cardano Foundation engaged in lots of different platforms. Um, Beginning of the year, Q1 2019, we've seen them partake in the event in Davos, where there were over 3,000 global leaders coming together to discuss matters of concern. And specifically on the agenda for this year was the fourth industrial revolution, and potential solutions for those. Now, if you think about, let's say, the outcome that such can have, look just towards the future, right? Several years down the line, the blockchain has been well developed, the governance structure has been well put into place, the treasury structure has been well put into place, and then there we are. We have the best blockchain to market. We have the best blockchain on the planet. And then, yes, we've been partaking in many of these different platforms, making sure that people are aware of our presence, our existence, and our potential. This can actually this can actually lead toward huge growth and also use of the Cardano blockchain in the future. So I'm really happy to see the Cardano Foundation partaking in these platforms, making sure that they have a presence at these places. Now, it's good to know that during this event, it was a week-long event where by all of these global leaders spoke about different subjects, but specifically pertaining to the fourth industrial revolution, of which blockchain, or let's say distributed ledger technology. During the event, during that week, we've seen Nathan Kaiser also partaking in different different interviews. This is just one to mention with the Trust Square Fireside. Nathan, at his best, he actually sat down and gave a well precise description, of what the Cardano blockchain is. Not only that, what you can expect. There were many different questions fired at him. I mean, it's not a very long and lengthy interview, but it was short enough, and the answers given was precise. It's amazing to see that someone who just joined was already up to speed and well knowledgeable about the protocol. Amazing. If you have not seen this, this is a must see. I'll make sure that the link is placed in the description for you. Another thing that we've seen the Cardano Foundation doing is engage with the community. So we're not only say on the busy with the with the Cardano Ambassador Program. We're not also busy with we haven't seen only busy on panel discussions and focus on Europe and etc. But also the community, because the community has some concerns. In the era of Parsons, a lot of things went wrong. But then we've seen Nathan Kaiser took position. What we've seen also is that his team is actively involved, actively communicating, actively engaged with the community. There were a lot of concerns from the community, lots of questions. And the foundation took their time to answer all of these questions. That's something very admirable. I mean, they weren't very easy questions, but the foundation took their time and answered all. One of them was, for instance, hey, why does the foundation not display or disclose the ADA address so that everyone can see their holdings? And guess what? They did it. They want to be accountable. They want to be transparent. And I think that is very well. That's a good step. There are many other questions, regarding actually, let's see if we can categorize those. The vision and the future of the Cardano Foundation. There were also some concerns about the community strategy, it's in funding and financial disclosure. And I think that they did a tremendous good job answering all of these questions. Chapeau. So, and then again, what we've seen lastly is the, again, just back it up a bit. Remember, if you go back to the first slide, one of their core tasks was shaping legislation and commercial standards. And not only that, but also facilitating partnerships. Now, with that in mind, the Cardano Foundation also became one of the founding members of the International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications. Now, I'm just going to read a little bit here of what it says. It says here, the Cardano Foundation participated in the official inauguration of the European Commission International Association of Trusted Blockchain Applications. As a founding member, the foundation will participate in constructive dialogue with enterprises, policymakers, standard-setting entities, and regulators to develop standards and guidelines for development and adoption of blockchain and other distributed ledger technology. Now, being a founding member is one. Partaking in such events, initiating it even to start with, is like you are actually inviting a lot of these entities, a lot of these, let's say, as we read it, a lot of these enterprises, makers, standard-setting entities, and regulators. You're inviting them, into a dialogue with you. That means you must be knowledgeable enough on this front to partake in such dialogues with these people, right? And you are setting the stage for something that's to come. And that is what I am so much proud to see the foundation, the Cardano Foundation, doing. They are living up to their promise. They have their vision, their goal, they have the mission clearly in front of them, and they are pushing forward, reaching that goal. And it's just only the first quarter. It's just only the first quarter of 2019. And these are just but a few to mention. We haven't mentioned the meetups that we've seen them part of. We haven't mentioned, we have even showed the panel discussions that members of the Cardano Foundation has been part of. We haven't showed the many different communications and engagements with the community that they have been part of, and many different questions that they have been answering, not only to the community members, but also others out there. 2019, the first quarter, a lot of the junk that were, let's say, of the Parsons error, you've seen the new team stood up, took their responsibility, and started living up to the expectations that we all have of the foundation. And not only that, but that is clearly stated in the mission statement. So this is the first quarter, recovering. Next week, we'll go into the second quarter. And as I mentioned earlier, as we go through the year, you'll notice that the activities and the events that they've been partaking in just increased. It's just increased. But the thing is, it's many months ago, and we tend to forget. And this is a really good medium, a really good way of just reminding us all how much work the foundation has been doing. They've not been silent. They've been doing a lot of work, also in the background. Oh yeah, and there's one thing I forgot to mention. Also, the change of auditor was also one thing that they also make sure to do as soon as Parsons, let's say the foundation was liberated. So yeah, thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe. Um, we're coming out with a lot more content. The team is very enthusiastic about what we've been doing. Uh, we have a lot. We have some more partnerships that we're going to communicate in the coming weeks. Definitely subscribe to our channel. We really want to grow. We're really thankful and grateful, to the community. We've already reached the 260 subscribers mark, and we really want to grow beyond that. Thank you again, and see you in the second quarter two episode.